can we discount? We don't know exactly what goes down in institutions, but we certainly know what goes down on our streets that involve people such as Mr. Russ, an African-American male. We have read about it continually, about what goes on. And it's not lost on me that not one officer who came in here was a person of color. And I'm certainly sure if you go back and look at the individual D reports, you'll find similarity. That again, the ugly elephant in the room, racism creeps into every scenario.
When one sentences an individual, one sentences an individual not only for their offense, but for their character. Indeed, someone today has mentioned racism in this room. Well, I don't want to cheapen Dr. Martin Luther King's memory, but Dr. Martin Luther King said to all of us that what is the aspiration of minorities is to be judged not on their race, but on their character. That's what Dr. King said in a very memorable speech. And it is so true. One is to be judged on their character and on what they do, not on their race. So please, let's not enter something into this case that's not here. The D reports don't suggest that this gentleman has changed his character since 2009. Rather, they reinforced the character that led him to lash out at the corrections officer in 2009. Therefore, I think a top number is important in this case to encourage this man to change his ways and to give the institution the opportunity to respond if he does not. I am familiar with his record. I've studied it. I'm familiar with the offense. Taking all of that into consideration, I think the proper sentence is a bottom number of 4 years, a top number of 10 years. A very wide divergence for good reason.
I find it quite ironical that Mr. Russ, when he gets out his probation, should stay away from any known felons. But somehow, we're not cognizant of what's the ratio of African-American males between 18 and 35 who have been incarcerated, put on parole, put on probation, etc. I guess I live in a different world. I also make a motion right now for the stay of the sentence pending appeal.
You are entitled to your opinions, Mr. Wilson. This court made its decision not based on the color of this man's skin, but on his character and his offense.
We cannot avoid reality, regardless of what is said, any more than the idea that inference on inference. I guess that's the way courts go. And perhaps it's good that I'm not going to do this anymore, because I don't see these inferences on inferences. Because every time he supposedly went to General Patton, he went back to West Main Street, where you suggested the items were, where they could
Mr. Wilson,
produce things.
Mr. Wilson, you are entitled to your opinions, sir.
Okay.
And you may express them freely outside of this court. I've made my ruling.